This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
My name is Desiree, and I'm a first-generation college student.
I'm Zach. I'm undecided in my major, and I'm a catcher.
This message was sent to you.
$500 down the toilet along with your performance. You are worthless.
Get the hell off the field before you lose me any more money, you sorry
This is wrong.
I'm more than a bet.
Stop harassing college athletes over a bet. Learn more at morethanabet.org.
There's a myth a lot of us grow up believing that hair loss is just a part of life. It happens. It runs in the family. And once it starts, there's no stopping it. But here's the truth. That's outdated thinking. Scientific understanding of hair loss has advanced in recent years. Today we have a deeper knowledge of underlying causes, and we've developed science-backed solutions that are both effective and safe. And that's at the very root of Happy Head. Dermatologist-led innovation offering stronger, FDA-approved ingredients that work. But what really sets Happy Head apart is how personalized it is. They don't do one-size-fits-all fixes. You fill out a comprehensive consultation, and their board-certified dermatologists design a formula specifically for your hair loss pattern, goals, and lifestyle. And whether you're early in your journey or more advanced, Happy Head offers targeted options that actually work. Topical treatments, oral capsules, or potent dual-action bundles all delivered directly to you, discreetly and freshly compounded in the U.S. Most people start seeing results in 3 to 6 months. But the real magic? It's sustainable. This isn't just about growing hair, it's about keeping it long-term. So no, hair loss isn't inevitable anymore. Visit happyhead.com and find out what's possible when science, expertise, and personalization come together. Hair happiness starts here.
All of you geniuses, after President of Hockey Ops and GM Bill Guerin joined Russo Radio yesterday, it would be about 9:55 Central where he would be told he's joining Moonshine to Noon, and he'd be like, I just went on that effing station yesterday. Why do I got to do it again today? And then Bossberg would jump in as the heavy and say, different audience. And lo and behold, Bill Guerin has joined us now, president of hockey operations and general manager for the Minnesota Wild. Bill, it's Paul Allen. How have you been?
Hey, PA. How you doing, buddy?
All right, man. Thanks for calling in. And I know it's a busy day for you today, so we'll make this relatively short. First, how excited are you for August 26th? That's a Tuesday at 7 o'clock in St. Paul. Big day for you, right?
What was that? August 26th?
Yeah, Def Leppard's playing at the State Fair.
I always love that one.
Oh, are they really? Oh, my God, yeah. That's a good one.
August 26th, I got the GM to
They're
smile.
They're really good.
I got the GM to smile on draft day. Let the record show Def Leppard, August 26th at the State Fair. How excited are you for the NHL draft?
I'm excited. I mean, it's always a big weekend, and, even though we don't have a first-round pick, I'm excited for the picks we do have and the players that we'll get. It's just always a little glimpse into the future, so I'm excited for it.
Any chance you get splashy and move way, way, way up to get into the first round, like something nobody sees coming from the cover of darkness?
I don't see it. I just don't see it. I don't know. Yeah. But you never know.
Yeah, 52.
You never know.
52 to 6. I mean, that's almost impossible, right?
What's that?
52 getting up to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, something like that.
Yeah, it's probably impossible, but like I said, you never know.
Let me ask you this, because the NBA draft just came to a conclusion. And, so even though you may not be a big NBA guy, if it's a draft and it's a pro sport, you may just fall into something like a report or something like that. Same with the NFL. And here's the point. I'm describing it as the tail wagging the dog, all right, where Tim Connolly, who has your job with the Timberwolves, said, we were pretty excited for pick 31 to start the second round until we learned that there had been deals consummated with 20 players already in the second round, which indicates you had agents letting Bill Guerin's or Tim Connolly's or Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah's know, don't take my guy, he's not coming. So in doing what you do, no matter what the round is, have you encountered agents or players or anybody telling you, don't take me because I'm not coming there? And if you did, how would you handle it?
No, I think that's more of an NBA thing. It's quite different. Just the approach and it's a little different too because they have an older draft than we do. Mm-hmm. And if you know what, there's two ways I look at it. Sometimes I'd be like, you know what, tough. We're taking you anyways,
right?
But then you don't want somebody that doesn't want to be there. But yeah, and it also depends how good the player is and what round it is.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never something like that's never happened. In my short career as a GM.
I mean, I think the absolute answer, if you want somebody, well, then, I mean, you test their stomach, right? I mean, do you really have the stomach to not play for it? Well, but like you said, the NHL and NBA are different, man. I mean, a lot of these kids in the NBA jump right into 24 to 32 minute a game roles, where most players in the NHL, they're going to go different places so that you can raise them the way you want them raised, and then start playing them, I don't know, end of first year, second year, third year, like that. But nevertheless, if you want them, well, see, like, you're so competitive, man. I mean, if an agent actually had the audacity to say that to you, I think the competitive nature of Bill Guerin would be like, well, now I'm absolutely taking him. And if he has the stomach to sit out and not get these checks, then God be with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
Now,
100%. You don't always. Yeah, you don't. Like you said, the tail's not going to wag the dog.
Now, with no first-round pick this year, it's David Jiricek, all right, formerly a 6th pick overall. Now, we had the lacerated spleen that cost him last season. So like, for those who may have forgotten, or those who are like looking forward to him playing next year, Jiricek, what does he do well you think fans will like when he starts playing full-time?
Well, I think just the combination of his skill and size is exciting. I think he's a good puck mover. He's got a bomb of a shot too. I'm not sure which he'll be on. One of the power play units. I'm probably the second unit, but you never know. He could be on the first. But his shot is definitely it's a weapon. Like, he's got a bomb. But I just like the fact that he can move the puck and he's got some size.
So by not having a first-round pick and not getting overly desperate, not that you get desperate, but like overly thinking, I got to get in the first round. So like him being 6 overall at one point, having him, it's kind of offsets that, right? Yeah,
that's exactly it. And our pick that we traded to Columbus is, I believe, 20. So we feel that we got more value in trading that pick and getting David than we would have just picking at 20.
Bill, speaking of trades, you guys traded Freddie Gaudreau to Seattle for a 4th. That took place yesterday. How emotional does it get sometimes trading a player who you happen to like as a person and is popular in your room?
Yeah, it's tough. You spend, years with some of these guys, and you do create relationships. And Freddie being the great guy that he is, it's tough to knowing that they're happy here too. It's really tough to tell them, but they also understand that this is the business part of it, and they still have a job, and it's just going to be in a different city.
All right, and assumedly you're the one that makes that call or like calls them up to your office.
Yes.
That's tough.
Yeah, I just call him on the phone and notify him, and then the other GM I'll tell the other GM, and then he calls and
Yeah, I got to believe, unless you just really have become fed up with somebody and maybe they're a bad actor off the ice, that never, like, thinking about the call, that's never easy, right? I mean, that like makes your stomach turn a little bit sometimes, right?
Yeah, it does. It absolutely does. Look, some of them are easier than others, but when you have a guy for a long time and you, like I said, you know him and you have a relationship, that's when it gets tough. What,
just overall, obviously without sharing secrets, what do you think of free agency? Any juicy steals for deals out there, Billy G?
It's okay. It's okay. I mean, it's kind of a strange market this year. It's just, everybody with the salary cap going up, there are a lot of teams that have to get players and spend money and get to the floor and competitive this year. So we'll see. I'm not sure what we're going to be able to do, but like I said, we're just going to try to make the team better some way, somehow.
Yeah. And what's strange about this, at least to me, is like from a fan standpoint or your standpoint, July 1st of 2025 has been kind of a significant date for quite some time. So here comes free agency. Now, I mean, you got the big hitter to re-sign, obviously, but nevertheless, you got all this cash, and then like free agency comes up a little lukewarm. I mean, that's just weird.
Yeah, it is kind of strange. But again, you know what? Like coming out of the dead cap hits isn't just for this free agency. It's for moving forward. It's for in-season trades that we can be involved in now. It's for trade deadline things that on a bigger scale that we haven't been able to be involved with. For 4 years, but now we're going to be able to be players in the game again. So that's nice. Everything's just not revolving around July 1st for this year.
Bill Guerin, president of Hockey Ops and general manager for our favorite hockey team, the Minnesota Wild. NHL draft begins today. Zeev Boyum, permit me to be the 30th person to ask you this, but I've missed the answer. What's key with his offseason? And I know development camp is next week and Zeev's going to be there, but like when he left and then now that he's come back, what are you looking for?
You know what? He's just got to spend a ton of time in the gym. That's really it. Just getting stronger, getting ready for, his first full NHL season. But what a lot of young guys have to realize is that there's a whole different level to your off-season training when you become an NHL player. And, he's going to spend some time here and be around our guys. And when young players do that, they see the level that they have to get to, the intensity that goes into off-season training. It's you're not training for a 46 game college schedule. You're training for 82 games of a real grind, and you're playing against the best of the best. So that's the biggest thing for me is with all these young players, not just Zeev, is their off-season training.
Yeah, I don't know Zeev, and I've never chatted with him, but from afar, just reading through the lines a little bit, he seems like he's quite self-aware. And what I mean is early in that playoff series, he's playing for the first time against these grown men. And he had a couple of comments like, yep, definitely bigger, definitely faster, definitely more professional than the amateur level. Well, not everybody says that. Everybody, some where pride can be the root of all evil. Some people will go the other way and be like, I don't care how big or fast they are and how young I am. I'm going to find a way to get through them and beat them, which may not even be realistic. He's at that stage. He seems like he's quite self-aware. Is that fair?
That is fair. Yep, that's fair. He is. He's a really smart kid. Yeah, he understands what's going on and I think really has a lot of respect for the older guys and the way things are done and how good people are. And I think that helps him.
How do you feel about your team's centerman depth? And is that something you could address say after July 1st, even if it's not like a big Sam Bennett name or something like that? Is that something you're looking to address?
Yeah, we are. I know, that's what everybody's saying out there, and it's kind of funny, but centers are tough to come by right now, and I think looking for them. So it goes back to what we were talking about earlier, the competitiveness. It's just we just want to be smart about it too, and not really overpay for guys that shouldn't be overpaid.
Right. And that plays into, you had a quote that I read recently where when you say it's, quote, definitely a strange year, all of a sudden all 32 teams want to get better, end quote. My question would be, Bill, what goes into a year where all 32 teams don't want to get better? Like what goes into that?
Well, then, a lot of times you have teams that are looking to rebuild, and they're selling, and they want to move guys out, and so there's more available trade partners.
Yeah.
And right now, when everybody's looking to trade, it's tough, but they don't want to give up anything.
Right.
So it is just a bizarre, market out there, a bizarre world. So it's, but we'll get through.
But I mean, you're super smart, man. I mean, I understand what you're saying, and 90% of me believes that it's completely accurate. But that 10% is playing the game, right? Where there's some just waiting till the last second, knowing that they want to do something, but they have to shape the environment a certain way to try to get the best value, right?
Yeah. You got to play the game. You got to. You got to be in it, and you have to make your phone calls and know what's going on. And, you got to be aggressive too, but you got to be smart.
You still fully expect 97 Kirill Kaprizov to sign a massive extension here?
Yeah, I do. But like I've been saying, it's going to take time. I don't think it's July 1, 12/01 that
right.
We're going to be announcing anything, but we could. But we don't know yet. I'm sure it'll take a little bit longer than that.
Is it in any way important to get it done close to July 1st? And if so, why?
I don't really think so.
Right.
I think if you look, some of the guys that have been in similar situations have signed later, into September and things like that. So we just want to make sure that we get a fair deal for both sides.
Does it, last one here, maybe two, but does it get fiery, Bill, sometimes when working on new deals for players? Like, as competitive as you are, guessing you want to leave things feeling like, you won, but let's not take that too far, like you crushed and embarrassed somebody, specifically at the level of a Kaprizov. But how does that work when the player wants to win the deal too, but you want to win also?
Yeah, I don't want to win. Like I honestly, I want us both to win. I want it. The best deals are when everybody's happy.
Right.
When the team's happy and the player's happy. That's what you're looking for. I'm not trying to nickel and dime guys. That doesn't do you any good, because then you have an unhappy player. I don't want an unhappy player. I want them, happy, proud of their deal, feel like they got a fair shake, and I treated them well, and that's really important. But it's got to be good for both parties. You ever
have a deal where it's like, look, times are tough right now, bad economy, stuff like that. All we have is a 5% raise, but we'll give you extra vacation days.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You ever hit somebody with something?
No, well, hey, look, there are times where you might not have the space to give the guy what he wants, and you probably explain to him, look, we just don't have that for you. You can take a shorter deal for less money and then get back at it in a year or two. But yeah, sometimes that's the case.
And lastly, how closely do you and Heinze, the coach, work during the draft and free agency and like with trades? I mean, how much of his input do you get, given he's going to be coaching these players?
Zero. He doesn't have any input on the draft.
Yeah, that means it's about 75%, but you're going to get the final say.
No,
right?
he has no input on the draft.
Okay.
Zero.
And you're being serious?
I'm being dead serious.
Right, because, but free agency or trades for veterans would be different, right?
Yeah, that's a little different.
I get that.
We kind of get his opinion on certain things, and what are we looking for? What type of player would fit in certain spots? And yeah, we go back and forth on that. We'll make the final decision, but yeah, there's no sense getting a player that doesn't fit what he's trying to do because he won't want to use a guy.
But you ain't going to be sending him to Halifax anytime soon to find the next Nathan McKinnon, right?
No, not at all.
Well, you have a wonderful weekend, and I'm sure we'll chat before your big night, August 26th at the State Fair to see Def Leppard. And I appreciate the conversation, man. You're fantastic. Have a great day, okay?
Thanks, buddy. You too.
See ya. Bill Guerin, General Manager and President of Hockey Ops for the Minnesota Wild. That was cool. That was a lot of fun. He's playing fast right now. Super loosey-goosey, specifically with that 97 piece where feels like it's absolutely going to get done. Kaprizov, biggest extension in the history of the team, but doesn't necessarily have to be midnight 01, July 1. But one of the things that I broached with Billy G early in the conversation, I mean, it's serious. It's true. Whether you're casuals, like certain people, you're hardcore, like a lot of people, it's the state of hockey. And there have been a lot of people who have looked at July 1st, 2025, including Bill Guerin, and been like, it's almost like living in a prison cell, like, where you're just carving into the wall each day. Oh, 4, and now we cross the 4 for 5. And honey, we're 372 days from July 1st of 2025. Then you get up to July 1st of 2025. Buyout money gone. All right. Game changer needs to get a lot. Game changer will get a lot. I would imagine there are some things coming up on the horizon for, not to that gargantuan financial level, but things that need to be done.
People need to get paid.
People need to get paid. I's need to get dotted. T's need to get crossed. So you got to think about that too. But when this date hits and you got cash and
how about that?
And free agent. I mean, Russo, he said at 9 to noon several times. I mean, now hockey boss basically. The only thing he left out was, with all due respect, free agency sucks this year.
That's basically what he said.
Right. It's, which I would think would be a bunch of ham and eggers looking to get paid like bottom level first or second tier type players, Mm-hmm. So just mesh that. But it just has to be, I mean, it's a wonderful, wonderful job to have. The lot in life is terrific. Seems like it's fun. A lot of money goes with it. The competitive nature of professional sports, the Wild is part of the core 4, and we love it. But when you've been waiting for that date for quite some time, and you got money, you have requisite money to make moves, and then it comes up soft. It's just it's just like a little lukewarm. You know what I mean?
Well, I think part of his job setting expectations, but there's been a reverse course, I think, in recent weeks or months with this, because at one point it was kind of, you're right, sunshine's going to come up over that horizon, and it's going to happen on July 21st. It's going to happen summer 2025, so be ready for it.
Yeah.
But now as we've neared that, whether what you heard from the GM here, yesterday with Russo himself, in the weeks leading up to this now time, there have been kind of the reversing course of, well, we got to be patient. It isn't exactly the deepest free agent crop you're ever going to see in your life.
Yeah.
Got to make a hockey trade. Mm-hmm. And these sorts of things that come up. It's kind of like July 1st. You mentioned it's like you've been in prison.
Yeah.
And you're etching those days. You finally get out. Nobody's there to give you a ride home. So now you're stuck thumbing it on the highway.
And they can't buy my clothes. I got to wear this orange thing still?
Yeah, I'm wearing my jumpsuit. Somehow.
I'm shackled from head to toe, 25 with an Izzo and nowhere to gizzo. Man, I know.
Intake lost my wallet, so now I have nothing. And I'm just walking in the ditch trying to enjoy freedom, but not getting it exactly to the degree that I want.
I'm getting a hotline call right now. Maybe it's Finchy out of nowhere to explain the revolutionary nature of basketball with a couple of 18-year-olds that I think combined they're about 14 feet 6 inches, and they're quite big. Their mid-range games have been discovered and also are improving. That, by the way, was our marathon segment, courtesy of Steve's Appliances, stevesappliances.com. Here's the deal. There is a 4th of July sale at Steve's Appliances in Mounds View. They have a 7,000-foot showroom, okay? I've been there several times. This goes until July 9th, right now. You're going to save thousands of dollars on appliances. That's Real Deal Holyfield. When they say guaranteed low price, that's what it means. If they tell me to tell you, you're going to save thousands of dollars on appliances up to July 9th because of added manufacturer rebates. I mean, this is your cooktop covenant. This is your refrigerator, dishwasher, washing machine, and or dryer covenant. So go to stevesappliances.com, shop online, stop by the showroom in Mounds View up to July 9th for sure for the 4th of July sale where you can save thousands. Thank you for the marathon sponsorship, Steve's Appliances. I and we love you. And that's 1028. Speaking of saving and or earning thousands, seems like a mighty fine time to give away some money.
The Fan and BigDeck.com want to give you a chance for some bonus bucks. It's the National Cash Contest. Go to KFAN.com, enter the keyword pay. Enter the keyword pay, P-A-Y, and you might get paid with the keyword pay at KFAN.com.
My name is Desiree, and I'm a first-generation college student.
I'm Zach. I'm undecided in my major, and I'm a catcher.
This message was sent to you.
$500 down the toilet along with your performance. You are worthless.
Get the hell off the field before you lose me any more money, you sorry
This is wrong.
I'm more than a bet.
Stop harassing college athletes over a bet. Learn more at morethanabet.org.
9 to noon.
That's a great setup, Bob.
Good stuff.
Ooh.
Okay, calm down.
Got any talkbacks over there?
Hey, let me grab one.
Well, the reason I ask is because that long winding moonshine to noon diatribe. Then we get into Ace Bailey and start ripping the Wizards. and delivered Mouse's line involving the bride and the wedding and the funeral. And then chatted with Billy G. I didn't get to the final few paragraphs of the Tolstoy, which properly would have set up the talkbacks. Now remember, they're talkbacks. They're not talk with. So therefore, if you say something 9 to noon happens to disagree with, then, we may take the other side on it, and it's a talk back. It's not a talk with.
Yeah.
Which means I guess you can leave another talk back to get. That actually would be interesting. It'd be a headache for Mad Producer.
Yes, it would be.
Somebody's like,
but suggest it anyway.
Somebody's like, Rudy Gobert sucks. I'll hang up my talk back and listen. So then I'm like, well, I mean, I'm not 10 of 10 with how he played in the postseason, but he doesn't suck, and you're not an elite basketball mind. So your take was terrible. And you can take that into 4th of July and put it in your moonshine-laden pipe and smoke it while you drink your absinthe. And then they'd be like, damn it, I don't get a chance to respond. That's because it's the talk back. It's not the talk with.
Yeah.
So then they go back to the talk back machine. They try to get their take in. Nordo's got to look for it.
Yeah, I do. I would say if someone sent in a talkback that just said Rudy Gobert sucks, I'll hang up the talkback and listen. I honestly I wouldn't play it. Mm-hmm. That's kind of a little hot takes with Isaac at happy hour style. And frankly, by the way, the advantage of the talkback, not the talk with, is technically we do get the final word. I suppose that doesn't necessarily make us right.
Yeah.
If you want to send in a talkback that says Rudy sucks, and here's why, and take the remaining 26, 27 seconds-ish and explain why, I'd be happy to potentially play it. So, but yeah, the responses, to have effectively a commentary session via talkback, that'd be quite difficult. I do have a talk back for you here.
Yeah, give it to us because Johnny Athletic has a lot of, cool stories and, cool tweets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He had one that I want to gravy train for you and I and just kind of like see what we think about it. But,
okay. Let me play this
back.
and you find that.
I got it.
What's up, PA? What's up, Nordo? This is your boy, Papa Taco. You know what kind of tenders I'm slinging and where they're at. Anyways, Hey, Tim Connolly, he's playing chess, and the rest of the NBA executives are playing Chinese checkers. We got the new 3 for MVP coming. All 3 of those players, the 2 this year, the 1 last year, are going to be stone cold killers, baby. Let's go. The championship's in sight.
Papa Taco, who are you? Papa Taco didn't drop in the cursory name of the place where he makes tacos, where the talkback actually becomes the payola back.
Yeah.
Where, like, if I can't even remember where it is, but it's like, it's Papa Taco and I work here and we make the best tacos in the whatever metro. And then, like, we stop by and get a free taco. Technically, that's the plugola payola bit.
Yeah, technically that's illegal.
Right, but Papa Taco, Big Daddy Taco, didn't share. He just wanted to be heard. And how? And we love your type, right?
Well, and he knew that I've played 1 or 2 of his before where he does name drop the particular place that offers apparently delicious chicken tenders. So he feels like he's now like we know where Papa Taco works.
Yeah. Well, he said Tim Connolly, the basketball boss, is playing chess and everybody else is playing Chinese checkers. We better hope the team that's selected right in front of where we got the French kid, if they're playing Chinese checkers with that kid named Hansen, you better hope we don't get double jumped. Yao Ming.
No, Jokic. Young Jokic.
I just wanted to say Yao Ming. Yao Jokic. Yeah, Yao Jokic. Go ahead and doubt the announcer's take. I mean, like I got ripped yesterday. Not that I look at email frequently. It might have been a tweet, but I mean, okay. Yang Hansen, whatever his name is.
Right.
Go ahead and watch it. I'm telling you that young man, for at least the last 4 years, watched every single thing Nikola Jokic did, every nuance of every related move, and has stolen them because they're there to be stolen. And he has modeled his game after that guy, after Joker. And, like when they started whatever team for which he played, is running a high post offense and he gets the ball and holds it up. I mean, I knew when some Bob Cousy looking Finnish guy ran through the key and he got elbowed by Hansen in Joker-like fashion.
I always love that one.
You're stealing everything Jokic does, including the covert elbows.
Well, and the key is he's 7'2" and 260. I know you spent some time like
coach 260.
Yeah, absolutely. He's filled out. He's filled out for his age at least. Mm-hmm. But you spent some time coaching your son, and that was a cool experience you had with Smiley, basketball, working up the ranks on the intramural side, and
honey. Let's slow down on the intramural. It was in-house. In-house
hoops. In-house hoops, yeah. Eden Prairie style.
Not everybody can be like Ava and Stella and playing on the top travel soccer team in Shasta, okay? I mean, seriously, her nickname's Pele for a reason, I understand.
But you're not teaching Jokic moves like the kid that's going to top out at 5'7". Like, you're not teaching him the nuance of Jokic, right? So it's the combination of watching every Joker play with the physical size. You're not going to get, Muggsy Bogues ain't rolling into the league trying to post up and do some of the work that Jokic does.
Well, Joker is 6'11" and weighs 284.
Okay.
All right. Yang Hansen, how old is he, 18?
I think he just turned 20.
Okay. At 20, he weighs 260. I mean, he's 5 cheeseburgers a day and some natural maturation from being what? 6'11", 284. This man came into the NBA draft with a deck of cards, and Portland found the Joker. Hey! Is there a fat trade the basketball boss is sitting on to improve the squad and is set to unfurl under the cover of darkness? Talkbacks on that, this, and anything you desire, quite honestly. It can be dealer's choice if you'd like. Now, remember, 20 minutes from now, Alec Lewis from The Athletic is going to be in studio, and he's also going to be co-hosting some Friday football feasts at Buffalo Wild Wings near you, starting in front of the Bears game, that Monday Night Football tilt. And during those Friday football feasts, when we do have YA Young Alec, I am going to craft a segment called Ask Alec Anything. And the crowd, voluminous as we hope it will be peppering Alec Lewis with some questions. I'll be walking around the crowd as God's cartoon character with the chins just waddling in the Elk River wind.
I always love that one.
But hit the talkback machine, all right? Hit the talkback machine. Ask Alec anything. I'm not even going to tell you where to go. Moonshine from Aniston, Vikings questions, whatever. Like I said.
Truly anything.
Yeah, anything. So dealer's choice, if you'd like, with the talkbacks. Got suddenly surging twins, Vikings talkers that just are burning in your souls. The Wolves' approach to the NBA draft, the Minnesota Wild, tails wagging dogs. They by the way, are shouting, Happy NHL Draft Day around North America. And do Billy, Johnny, Christy, Susie, Tamika, or Antoine happen to have a game-worn Freddie Gaudreau? Well, it may be burnable because he was traded to Seattle last night for a fourth-round pick. We don't have a first, and currently are not scheduled to select until 52 in the second round. By the way, for those of you in parts of Minnesota, some would consider the hinterlands. It's always a Farming Friday on KFAN, even if Sukup is not involved. The rain has stopped for you. The rain has stopped for you for now. What's on the minds of fan farmers and the tractors listening to 9 to noon? How are the farms? Did that massive amount of moisture set you back or help the crops? Farmers, always welcome via the talkback machine. And we'll start paying off some talkbacks, do some news do Nord, ask Alec anything, and handle all of that over the second half of Moonshine to Noon on.
My name is Desiree, and I'm a first-generation college student.
I'm Zach. I'm undecided in my major, and I'm a catcher.
This message was sent to you.
$500 down the toilet along with your performance. You are worthless.
Get the hell off the field before you lose me any more money you saw in my...
This is wrong.
I'm more than a bet.
Stop harassing college athletes over a bet. Learn more at morethanabet.org.
KFAN.
Welcome back to 9 to noon. It is News to Nord, and it's always brought to you by The Casino at Canterbury Park, CanterburyPark.com. Poker, blackjack, table games all year round, having sips at Chips and tipping Derek Allen a bunch. And then you're watching live racing Wednesday evenings, Saturday evenings, Sunday afternoons. And I've mentioned it the last couple of days, by the way, unique holiday week schedule coming up. Go to CanterburyPark.com for that elite fireworks show. Best spot in Shakopee. It's Canterbury Park, CanterburyPark.com.
My show am good.
And to the Minnesota Twins.
At 3-1. And the pitch to left center. Rodriguez going back. Rodriguez at the wall. It is gone. And Wallner finds the bullpen in left center and a swing he needed. 420 the other way. Brian Dozier applauding. Mauer's like, I've done that. It is 10-0 here at Target Field as Wallner hits his seventh.
Matt Wallner, 420. Safe to say he smoked it. Go ahead. Wasn't that good?
10-1 is the final yesterday in the final game, the finale of the 4-gamer, and for a team that had lost 5 straight, and it was super negative, and we're having
sips and chips.
Softy from Seattle joining us, and it's just there's a ton of malaise around the baseball team. You get JoJo's performance 2 days ago. Simeon Woods Richardson still feels like 5 innings is the ceiling for him, but he did pitch a shutout. And you stake the 10-0 lead in the getaway day, at least for Seattle. Now to the Minnesota Twins, though. This is going to be good. This is a massive one, PA. They are now just 3 games below 500.
Yep.
There's still a bunch back in the AL Central, but the Twins are hosting the Detroit Tigers, and it's Sawyer Gibson-Long.
No, I think they're at Detroit. I think they're
they are in Detroit. You're correct. My fault.
They're at the Motor City Davy.
Misspeaking on my part. But it's Twins, it's Tigers, division weekend, and we kind of get an up-close look. And sadly, hopefully it ends well for us, but we're going to get to see Scooble on Sunday. It's going to be a fun series for the hometown 9.
Yep, and Alec Lewis undoubtedly will tease me about this within the next 20 minutes because, I know a bunch of Detroit Tiger names. You got your Torkelsons, your Baez, your McKinnistries, but I think they have the most underrated player in Major League Baseball. His name is Riley Green.
Ooh.
And nobody talks about Riley Green, but Riley Green is a gamer, and for whatever the reason, Alec Lewis thinks that's funny. He'll send me, Riley Green, if he goes 3 of 4 with 4 RBI and he hit 2 home runs. It's 9:15 at night. I'll get a screenshot from young Alec and a picture of Riley Green. Who knew? I had no idea it was that good.
We did just have the general manager on, but the NHL draft will kick off this evening. And for the Minnesota Wild, they will have, I believe, now it's beyond me. There we go. It starts at 6 p.m. Eastern tonight. The first round will take place this evening, and then tomorrow it's around 11 or noon. The second through 7th rounds will take place. The Minnesota Wild currently have 5 selections in the draft. So, including the 4th rounder that they received as part of that transaction, we heard that Freddie Gaudreau headed to the Kraken. Looking forward to the NHL draft. We are your home for Wild Hockey, the fan, but technically their first selection, unless Billy G does something nutty. It's going to be pick 52, and that'll take place tomorrow.
Can't wait.
More news here. NBA draft. We mentioned it earlier. Rocco Zikarsky, the fat cat, the Rocco Zikarsky, the Aussie, grew up on the Sunshine Coast. Sounds like a beautiful area to grow up in, but 7'3", 7'4"-ish. Tim Connolly yesterday joking, I was trying to get out of here with 14 feet worth of players, and he found his way to it, of course, with Berenger on night 1. But other names, you mentioned some of those deals that take place. I wonder if these were part of the deals, because we saw Rasheer Fleming in a trade that took place right out of the gates. The Wolves had pick 31. They moved back to 36 with a deal with the Suns. Rasheer Fleming had been a name that Wolves fans and those that cover the team, hey, we got a full roster here. I would actually anticipate Tim Connolly making some moves back, which he ultimately did. But if they were to stick and pick, look at Rasheer Fleming. Well, he goes 31st overall.
Dane Moore nailed it yesterday, 9 to noon. I'm like, if they stick at 31 and take a guy, who would it be? And he said that guy.
He did say Rasheer Fleming, exactly. He just goes to the Suns instead of the Wolves.
Right.
And Janai Broom, a guy that I started watching at least closely only because Parker Fox helped get Janai Broom on the show. Big timer for Auburn, of course. They went to a Final Four. He ended up, I believe, going 35th or 36th to the Sixers. And then the Wolves would ultimately trade back, find their way to the Aussie, but they come out of it with 2 players, young kids, developmental prospects, but a lot of positive projection in terms of what they believe they can become.
And what can the Minnesota Timberwolves become? Well, that Johnny Athletic tweet that I was looking for from yesterday, it's after taking the Aussie, a day after taking the Frenchman. It Wolves depth chart, as he sees it right now, assuming Randall and Nas are back and Nickeil Alexander-Walker is not. Is it just complete, steel-proof steam that Nickeil Alexander-Walker is not going to be re-signed by the team? Is that bouncing all over the place?
I saw it even before the season ended that people were, because of the second apron, so he didn't make very much money in 2025, but the idea of re-signing him if he needs some sort of a raise, and then we got buckets here, money there, that it would be very difficult given the current situation of the Wolves to re-sign him. So
what do we think? What do we think of this 2 and 3 deep? 14 spots filled, writes Johnny Athletic, John Krasinski, who also wrote could use another point guard. Point guard, Conley into Dillingham. Small guard, Edwards, DiVincenzo, Jalen Clark. Small forward, Jaden McDaniels, Shannon Jr., Josh Minot. Power forward, Julius Randle, Naz Reid, Leonard Miller. Center, Stifle, Garza, Berenger. So still got a spot to fill. Could use another point guard. What do we think of that?
I think we're light. I think Johnny actually hit it. It's not even stealing a take. I think he's right, and I agree with him that you need another guard there.
Yeah, you need a point guard.
And so that's what we'll be looking to as we jump into next week. It's a holiday week. We got fireworks at Canterbury, and that's all good.
Yeah.
But maybe there'll be some fireworks earlier in the week. You'll have NHL free agency that opens in earnest at 11 a.m. on Tuesday, but then the night before, I think it's Monday evening, around dinner time, we'll call it. The deal-making period, the NBA's version of the legal tampering period opens up on Monday, where I believe you'll start hearing about contracts consummated, new faces on new teams.
Yeah.
And then ultimately that signing, the official signing period kicks off on the 6th, which would be next Sunday.
Yeah.
But in terms of that guard,
that's great.
The steam's still moving forward. You want Randall? Well, Randall's going to accept the $30 million, and he's not going to say much about it. He'll celebrate.
Can you look behind you quickly?
And then Naz Reid will take.
What is he
take
doing?
his.
What are you doing, Alec?
Oh, he's just super excited.
Super excited, isn't he?
He's got his iced coffee.
Iced coffee? That ain't iced coffee. That's moonshine straight from Anniston. I can see the meth in it.
Can I ask? I'm going to ask Alec anything. Why doesn't anybody just drink normal, straight black coffee anymore? Why does everything need oat milk in it, some sort of artificial flavoring, a shot of almond here, and French vanilla there? Why doesn't anybody just drink straight black coffee?
It's always great being behind those people in the coffee shop line. And, then there will be a food order. Now, here's the deal.
Yeah.
It's not this without something. It's this.
Right.
So, it's I'll take this, but I don't want this, and this with this piece of food.
Yeah.
So then when you get like a moonshine beverage Alec Lewis drinks every morning with some food order that includes nuts or whatever, cheese, but I don't want it with the cheese. I don't want it. Well, that's how it's served.
Correct. That's where
that's a 15-minute wait behind somebody.
There's a beautiful thing, the freedom of choice. The freedom of choice to go places, buy various things. You enhance creativity, you enhance options, certainly. But I want businesses to take the power back and just start saying what you see on our menu is on our menu.
Amen.
Because there are two different places. It's the coffee shop lines, and then it's the line at Chipotle. If you go to Chipotle, you don't sit there, you're like, I'd like white rice and guac. Well, guac's at the end of the line.
Yeah, thank you.
So first, let's handle the bean situation. Let's handle the fajitas. Do you want the freaking queso or not? And then you move on to the other ingredients. You know how the freaking process works. And similarly at a coffee shop, if I just want a black coffee and a water. That's all I want. Don't take away. You order what's on the menu or go somewhere else.
Black coffee and ice water.
I need black coffee and ice water. That's all I drink.
Well, I'm not going to say where this location is. It's a Chipotle, okay? All I will say is it's new.
Ooh.
It's new. It just opened within like the last 6, 7, 8 months. I've been there one time. I'll only go one time, and here's the reason why. Is because clearly there has been a mandate laid down. This store is new. Profitability is important. Economy ain't great. All this stuff costs more money now to bring it in than it used to cost. Okay? Potentially. Yeah. Everything we've heard 8 million times, all right?
Sure.
You talk about skimping on things. It's like, hey, can I get a little extra steak?
Oh.
Bro, I was told no.
Really?
No,
give him a couple.
No, he hit me with the extra meat on the board or whatever. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, you're right. No, I'm in a box.
No, it's a simple trading issue, and it'll be rectified over the course. Chipotle kicks ass. I love Chipotle.
Me too. Unless it's a new store worried about profitability in a neighborhood where maybe they got to pay a little more to be in that neighborhood than some other neighborhoods. I was told no with the meat, so how come I can get extra corn, but I can't get extra meat?
Yeah.
Well, so I guess corn prices are fine, right? I said that. She's like, I know, right?
Like I just honestly, I just work here.
Right.
I'm 17 years old, and I'm being berated about how many nuggets of steak I put on there. Give it a month.
No, it's the whatever their mandate is for minimum they can give and actually get away with it with a straight face is what I got.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? It's going to cost me probably 75 cents in gasoline with these gasoline prices, but there's a Taco Bell right around the corner, and they're going to give me all the chili cheese burritos I want.
Unless they use a measuring cup, there just can't be a true mandate. And I didn't get this pillow top.
You're right.
By allowing skimping to happen.
Yeah.
Give it a month.
Yeah.
It's
okay.
And you're going to create.
I haven't been back. I should go back.
You're going to create a relationship with that person.
Sir.
They're going to know. They're going to.
Sir, if you want extra meat, it's right up there on the board.
They're going to see you.
I know, right?
They're going to see you enough, and they're like, yeah, that guy, I'll throw a little bit extra chicken. You'll work it out, but it's the place is too good to stay away from.
Alec just tried to contribute to the show, but didn't turn the microphone on, which means the Anniston moonshine's all ready for the 4th of July. 4th of July.
Our cynical pessimism is funny. We were mentioning coffee shop lines, Chipotle, whatever it is. Love those spots.
Yeah.
But then the first inclination somebody sets in, there's the McDonald's not knowing your order bit in the drive-thru. There's the people who buy a bleep load of scratch-offs in line at the gas station. People have been sitting on these mild inconveniences, and they're not sitting on them anymore.
That's a great point.
I didn't hop in because you said 11 o'clock. It's not 11 yet, so I don't want to barge in. You guys are having an incredible conversation. Why would I interrupt?
I said 11:03.
Yeah,
that's it. But I didn't want to hop in.
But you're not supposed to talk for 24 seconds. Why are you talking?
Exactly.
Because the shipment of Anniston moonshine has arrived.
I don't the moon. Once we come back from the break,
it's beautiful.
You got to explain the moonshine thing. I was listening. I'm like, what? You just decided on July 27th you're just going to toss in moonshine?
We profiled.
Yeah, we went stereotyping.
It's where you're from.
And see, and I know, I never like to be, with anybody like, oh, you weren't listening to the show.
Right.
That's arront. Nobody is going to listen all the time,
right,
period.
You can't expect that. That'd be foolish.
But I know because of how many takes of mine that you've I know because of a vernacular. I just know occasionally you listen.
How is Ryan Tannehill?
But I was wondering if you were listening. I was hoping you weren't listening to the opening set. I came in here this morning at 5:45, 6:15, and I had nothing put together. And I'm like, all right, well, the 15th tumbleweed is blown by me because it must be feel to show up whenever you want Friday here in the iHeart family. But at least the economy's great. And after the 15th tumbleweed, I avoided it. I'm like, I probably should start writing. All right, let's preview the show. Got Alec Lewis. I'll just read it to you right here.
Shouldn't you do that when you're introing me?
Well, you caught astray. No, this was, let's get on with the Friday football feast. Alec Lewis is with us at 11. Last time I saw Alec was at Bunkers in Minneapolis, and I couldn't convince him to hit the dance floor and unfurl some moves as they sang a Sly and the Family Stone song. What's Nordo's stance on dancing at a bar when the band hits a funky song you enjoy?
So then I had to talk about that.
He responded. Athletic Alec will be co-hosting some of the Friday Football Feast when we hit the Buffalo Wild Wings tour. Today, we will unveil Ask Alec Anything, which we're going to do at Buffalo Wild Wings. Nordo and I will have some queries, and we'll utilize talkbacks with the same bit. Ask Alec Anything. I'm going to begin it with, quote, while growing up in Anniston, Alabama, did any of your family members profit off the making of moonshine? And have you ever been above the legal limit while imbibing moonshine?
That's what you came up with this morning?
That's my question.
This is...
Well, technically, there's no...
you
read Mike Sando's recent football story. It was terrible.
Listen.
Okay, so we all have off days.
Listen, they took Rocco Zaransky last night.
Yeah.
That's what you should be talking about.
Yeah. Dame Mizutani says his last name right, or accurately. I can't believe you just said that the opening part of a Friday football feast with 45, as Common would say, a couple of 13, 14 people listening was bad. I don't analyze your leads and go on the radio and say, look at this non-essential clause. Too many split infinitives here.
No.
What a nice dangling participle, Alec.
No, I'll say, I didn't think it was bad at all. But I'm just saying, instead of introing with me, when you take a 7'3" budding project out of from the Brisbane Bullets. That should be
topic.
Yeah, I absolutely. I mean,
it's
with
the
this
1A.
guy, I saw his ability. I saw Draft Express Jonathan Gavoni. He put out a video last night, 50 seconds of Rocco shooting, and it's smooth. I mean, he looks like Joe Ingles, but 8 inches taller.
Left or right-handed?
Left-handed.
You did watch?
Absolutely.
I thought you were lying. Now, he has a silky smooth little left-handed, but it's still okay. We'll chat about all this shortly.
Sure,
you got anything else here with NDN?
No, we're good, man. CanterburyPark.com.
Thank you very much. That's the voice of Alec Lewis with The Athletic, theathletic.com. Hit the talkbacks. Ask Alec anything. If it's football, it's football. Oh, my. But talkback, free iHeartRadio app, baby microphone, you know what to do. And Alec Lewis will join us around the corner. You're listening to FM 100.3 KFAN.
My name is Desiree, and I'm a first-generation college student.
I'm Zach. I'm undecided in my major, and I'm a catcher.
This message was sent to you.
$500 down the toilet along with your performance. You are worthless.
Get the hell off the field before you lose me any more money you saw in my...
This is wrong.
I'm more than a bet.
Stop harassing college athletes over a bet. Learn more at morethanabet.org.